What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
I'm MATJ.
And this is Magician and the Jock. Today we have Miss Taylor Bay back in studio. What's up, Taylor?
What's going on, guys?
What's happening in your life?
I feel like I say the same thing every single time.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like,
Not just working. Same world.
Just trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Trying to take one social media platform at a time.
One day at a time.
Any unwanted people chasing you on bikes?
No, not anymore. So maybe somebody heard me the last time.
You are welcome.
Thank you, guys.
We have a big reach.
It was really awesome. Thank you.
So at least we know one of the 48 people watching is a creeper.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least.
That's a gross underestimation on the percentage. But what are we talking about today?
I think we should talk about, Taylor Bay and your new line of work. You have a new position.
I do.
Since the last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the social media marketing manager.
And what does that entail?
A lot of things. Pretty much just keeping track of all of the team or our teams doing like our TikTok schedules because we post 2 times every single day. So I get that all figured out. We're working on doing like some brand ambassadors and some like collabs and stuff. So just a lot of like behind the scenes stuff. And
Are you looking for a brand ambassador with a beard? What kind of clothes?
all women's clothing.
Oh, it's 2021.
We can fit into those.
Yeah, man. So, are you you're doing the content, like, or are you? I know you're not the only one that works there. Are you interweaving? Are you weaving the other people into it as well? But you're kind of directing it.
Yeah, basically. That's basically it.
Nice. 2 a day.
2 a day.
Wow.
One from each store.
Where are the stores?
AB and Raleigh.
And what are they called?
Gatorbug.
Gatorbug.
Wait, do you have to travel up to Raleigh?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be a bad gig.
So they actually created these things called phones, and you can text, you can call people.
I know what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
I think it would be kind of cool though if you went to Raleigh and shot some video.
Yeah, we're definitely
stayed there.
We're definitely have something in the works for that in the next couple of months.
We need some video and editing guys.
Yeah. Was that the like mothership there, and then they started here?
Yeah, started here, and then they branched out into Raleigh.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how is this different from what you were doing before?
I was basically just like doing TikToks before, and
so you were just like an associate, a regular associate.
Yeah, I was.
And they were like, "You're pretty good at this, so
yeah,
we want you to take over for all of us."
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh. Hey, that's how it works. So we were thinking you're going to be our social media expert. Billy knows a lot about it. I know a ton of those words. But, I think we've had a lot of business people on. Real estate agents, guys working cars,
sales,
insurance. More, I guess you could say, traditional style businesses, very brick and mortar.
Right.
And I think everybody knows. I mean, we all know how big the internet is, but I think there's still a lot of us that are like, how do we leverage the internet? You know, like I bet there's sleepless nights of like, man, there's this person posted this, and God knows how many cars they sold, or insurance policy, or whatever. They're making a splash, but it's an ever evolving landscape. I don't know. So maybe we can dive into that.
Yeah, I think you guys.
So, do you study a lot of the platforms?
Not really. It's basically just from me using them, and it's just kind of like working through it and like working through like the learning curves of everything, because there's a lot of stuff that I probably still don't even know. But I'm learning new things every single day.
Well, you are 16, so.
I'm 17. I just had a birthday.
Oh, nice. When you say study, what do you? How do you study? Are there like tutorials and stuff?
Well, sort of, but I mean, like, obviously I'm older, but
What?
When did this happen?
Since
100 years ago, give or take.
So I like to go Google different platforms. What's new? What's coming up? What's kind of dying? What is getting traction? Where is the attention heading?
Yeah.
So I like to keep up on that, especially with having the channel, MATJ channel. That way I can promote, brand, broadcast in different platforms. Like we talked before the show, I just now got into looking into Pinterest.
Our Pinterest king.
Pinterest king.
Jeez.
Can I be excused?
Dude. Hey, somebody's got to be one. Pinterest queen, maybe. But yeah, I mean, as for business guys, you're going to automatically think like, hey, is there a best time to post? You mentioned you have scheduling TikTok posts, you know, so clearly you're not just scheduling it random. You know, if you know at 10 o'clock does better than at 8 o'clock, you know, but it's something that you just probably had to learn by posting at both 8 and 10 and seeing which one got better.
We've been like tweaking, like just us specifically have been trying to tweak the times. Because actually on TikTok, they have like analytics that you can go into, and they tell you like the best or like most popular times to post. And we were going off of that for a while, but it really just was the same. Like we didn't really see any like differences. So I just made it so we post whenever is like the most convenient for us, kind of.
How far out do you schedule?
Well, I have it planned for the month, but then sometimes I'll go back in and tweak like for the week if I mess something up or if we have something going on that's just whatever. But it's pretty relaxed. The schedule is.
Did they say, hey, we want you on a schedule, or were you like, no, let's try and knock out 2 a day?
Both, just because I wanted both of the stores to be showing stuff, because not both of the stores don't have the same stuff. I mean, for the most part, yeah, but I was like, we both need to be showing both places. Because, I mean, a lot of people know, like, one place and not the other, or, like, vice versa.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be a better idea for both of us to be posting on the same day.
Is it one account for both stores?
Yeah, and then we have, like, a store phone and
Oh, now, what is that?
What?
A phone.
Is that... dial?
I've heard good things. It's going to change the game.
Flip it up.
I think it's going to be big.
You have to pay for the internet on it. Yeah.
Don't get me started there. But no, so that's interesting. I mean, you're big into, you know, I mean, you texted me the other day, like, man, I just want to start creating content. I'm tired of trying to like crack the algorithm.
So, you know, I just woke up the other day and I just got not really so much discouraged, but to the point where I was just like, I'm so tired of looking at the numbers. I'm tired of seeing the algorithm or the time I need to post. I mean, and you know, we're huge fans of Think Media, and you know, one of their slogans is just press record.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was diverting so much attention away from just pressing record.
Right.
That I was frustrated with myself.
Right. Nothing happens until something's uploaded.
Yeah, so
you know, and it's simple, but there's some. I mean, I've been a consumer of content since YouTube came out. I've been around my freshman year in college. Yeah. Used to be.
Was that 20 years ago?
Nah, man, 2005, 16 years ago. Good God, but you know, I skipped a bunch of grades, which no big deal.
You graduated early.
Yeah, very early.
16 years early.
But no, it's so I've been watching it forever, and I've always loved content. And then I was listening to a guy, and someone asked him for like a tip for somebody that wants to get into the content game. He goes, "You need to become addicted to your phone." And I was like, "Wait, well, that's weird." And he goes, "But instead of consuming content, start producing it." He's like, "Just flip the switch from just constantly coming in to now just putting it out."
Yeah, and I think that's when I texted you the other day about that. I woke up and it was just, the whole time I was just looking at.
You kind of psych yourself out.
Yeah, I was like, okay, no, let me pull back. We're at a good stage right now. Let's just start pressing record and getting it. And we've had a little bit of setbacks. I mean, with certain things, life happens. But
yeah, of course.
You know, now we're back at it. Hard.
But I feel like when you like think about all the numbers and stuff like too much, I feel like it takes almost like the genuineness away from it. Because then you're like, I'm not making this for like fun. Like you're like, I will.
Like kills creativity.
Yeah, like you like think too much about it that it doesn't come off good. That makes sense. I don't know. I feel like that's how it always happens.
But
It's always when,
there's always the suits, right? The people, the higher ups in the business, they have no desire to want to create content, but they want to leverage the traffic that's out there when they see how many daily users. I was just reading on Twitch. I think it was 2018. They said there's 15 million daily users, and that's one of
platforms.
And they're looking at, they just want return, right?
Yeah.
They don't care what font, Taylor, you put on your thing, as long as it works, So have you had to combat that a little bit, or are they just giving? You said it's kind of laid back. Are they just giving you the reins?
For the most part, just because I feel like me and one of the owners, we're kind of tag teaming, social media right now, and we pretty much have the same vision for everything. So there will be stuff that she's like, I want this out by this time, and I'm honestly doing the same thing where I'm I have a whole group message with everybody, and I'm like, I want this week, just time frames. I'm like, I want this out, just because especially with TikTok, there's a lot of sounds that will trend, but you got to catch it at the right time, because then the videos are too oversaturated and people won't see it. It's less likely that they'll see it than when you posted 2 or 3 days ago.
You want to be an early adopter, I think. On that.
There's a very there's a sweet spot.
Yeah, the window of opportunity, especially for when you do hashtags on TikTok.
Yeah, it's so quick because there's just there's so many videos being posted every single day. It's insane.
So this is something that I can imagine. I'm picturing my mom watching this, or guys I work with. And this sounds like an entirely new language, right? It sounds, that's in our heads, the barrier to entry seems so high that why bother, right? Why, how did you learn, even hashtags or or how to leverage them? I always thought they were just some hashtag, you just put something silly in a text. You actually can, but you'll stack up hashtags on a video. I have no clue what any of it means.
Helps categorize what.
Is it for the algorithm of the different platforms?
Well, it's also another way for them to search. Mm-hmm. So if you drop a hashtag, so say if on my TikTok I make a video and then I put hashtag Taylor Bay, then they can click on Taylor Bay, the hashtag, and it goes to our channel and all that. So that's why I do hashtags, especially on Instagram.
I thought you had to do @ to put somebody's name on there.
You put @, so like on LinkedIn, I'll put Matt Dodge.
Yeah.
And then it will automatically drop on your page as well.
Yeah.
So as a mention. Mm-hmm. So an @ is a mention, hashtag is almost like a search.
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do when they're on TikTok, because they're trying to look for, it's the video version of Pinterest almost.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Okay, so I'm, obviously pretty well versed in YouTube, been on that forever. You keep saying LinkedIn. The only reason, because in my other life, that's the only social media platform I'm allowed to have.
Exactly, and that's why
I'd be on TikTok with the rest of them, you know what I'm saying?
And you'd be damn good at it.
Come on, man.
No, why I said LinkedIn is because I do tag you when I post our videos, or I mention you in it, because I want to get that traction off your followers as well.
Yeah. And it's relevant too. It's hey, you wouldn't want to do that to someone who's not in the video, and just clearly oh, this person has a gazillion, raving fans. Let me try and leverage that. But I'm sure, does that go around? Does that happen?
So should we even mention the whole tagging? The tagging of people? Will that just take them over the top and make his head explode?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially right now, my head's about to explode. Anyways,
should be writing this down.
So maybe
I forgot he has headphones, so he can actually hear us talking.
Yeah, for sure. But I haven't used Q-tips in years. I don't believe in them. But taking it to maybe more broad, do you think? So people listening, that we have a tendency of saying, well, I'm sure that works in your industry, but in my industry that would never work.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think there are specific industries that translate better?
There's definitely some that do just have a better, it just makes more sense to have more of an online presence.
What would be an example? Maybe fitness?
Yeah, I would say fitness. In like food stuff, like cooking.
Because that's kind of what Instagram was known for, right? Like take picture of what you're eating.
Like your food. I feel like that like translates really well. Like fashion, like shopping, all of that stuff. Even I think we said cars do pretty well. I feel like things that like people have hobbies in.
Or like, well, look at the cosmetic world.
Yeah,
I mean, that's another
that too.
big-
Makeup and
Tutorials,
everything,
yeah.
tutorials. Yeah, I feel like that just kind of hobby kind of stuff because I feel like it's easily like relatable too.
I feel like it's more tangible stuff that you can
Yeah.
touch and feel. But how would you do the untangibles? Is there a certain way that you could do that? So we had Kevin on. He's an insurance salesman, and Kevin's really good at marketing himself. But how would you go about marketing something as mundane as an insurance policy?
I've seen it actually kind of like a lot on TikTok where these like more like serious brands start just kind of jumping into the little TikTok world and they start doing like the little trends and stuff and they just try to make it less mundane and
We're
like
cool.
more like
Yeah.
like people are like wait like that's I would not expect them to be doing that like that makes me want to look into
What
like,
are they doing?
yeah, exactly. So it's like they see that there's like real like fun people on the side of that
Gotcha.
isn't just like
So
men
basically
in
bring
business
a
suits.
little bit of personality.
Yeah,
to it.
pretty much. Because people love to see that. Like,
I mean, because it's all about awareness, right? Like
Yeah.
we talked a couple shows ago, the obscurity epidemic the business people have, which is just not enough people know what we do. If nobody knew your shop existed,
yeah,
nobody would know there's cool things to buy. So you start posting the stuff, people start liking it, and now they're at least aware,
Right.
you know, because it comes down to whenever the buying decision comes, but you want to be top of mind. That's at least how I view social media.
Yeah.
With business, and especially in abstract businesses like insurance or anything that's essentially a handshake and a signature, you know. All right, I have another question. Do you think, so we talked about this off air, you said you get kind of annoyed by this, where people will say, hey, is there a universal strategy that, like almost like a recipe you can hand me so I can become successful social media influencer or whatever for my
Yeah.
business? Do you think there is something like that, or is it?
I personally don't think that there is. I feel like the algorithm just kind of works in weird, mysterious ways. But I feel like you can master it, but there's no, they're
Like a lot of trial and error.
yeah, basically. But it's also like it's not a given that it will hit or that it like you never know if your video is going to flop or not. It's really just kind of randomized. Like I said earlier, like you could put all the work in, like you could have amazing quality videos, like great content, but it's like nobody's going to like who's seeing it. Like
Yeah. It's almost like having a beautiful billboard down a dirt road.
Yeah,
Like nobody
exactly.
drives by.
Yeah,
Out in the
exactly.
jungle.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for somebody that's starting we'll just go with Instagram. We'll start with Instagram.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it's the consistency that people look for. Because, okay, so as an example, say you are on Instagram or you are on TikTok and you see something that you like on your page and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to their, like, actual page. You hop over there and they have just one post and you're like, I want to see more. But, like, you can't go and see more. Like, they don't have anything linked or anything. It's just, like, you have to be consistent and you have to like keep posting stuff even if your one person audience is out there just like watching it. Just keep posting. Like I feel like it will eventually happen, whether it be like 5 or 500.
Getting that traction.
Yeah.
You'll at least have a bigger
Have a following.
yeah, and you'll have a bigger sample size for
for
this type of video does well, this
Yeah.
one doesn't.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like with TikTok, it'll show you can go on the computer, I don't know if you can do it on the phone, but you can go and it'll show you all the analytics for every single one of your videos, like the time that people are viewing it, like the amount of people that viewed it, how many times they watched it, what gender they are, like what age group they are, like it narrows down everything for you. So like the tools are there, it's just
It's kind of making sense of all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've talked about this because I tell you all this about YouTube as well, the analytics. Matt's just like,
no, and I don't care.
just press record.
How do you like that thumbnail?
But you know, I look at deeply into that. While YouTube is different from Instagram and TikTok, all those platforms, because I feel like you need to have your audience know what day you're going to post.
Right.
So they get. It's almost like you're training your audience to go to YouTube
go find,
at that time.
Yeah.
Like, for example, David Dobrik. You have.
God, you got a man crush on that guy, dude.
Well, he's now.
Did I tell you about him?
Yeah, you did. But he's the only one because
what have I done?
now Mr. Beast has kind of backed off a little bit. And he's got his reaction channel, but
Yeah.
Dobrik is the.
I refuse to call that guy Mr. Beast. He's like 20 years old.
He's a beast, though.
On the YouTube algorithm.
Hey, if he walks to that door, I'm like, hey.
Like, we got another
Shoves
mic.
Matt to the side.
No, like,
Magician and the
Come here,
Beast.
sit right here.
yeah, Magician and the Beast.
Come on, Jimmy.
Soon to be just the Beast.
But Dobrik, he drops the video on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know it drops at Tuesday at noon.
And you know exactly you know the time that he's posting and how long the video is going
Yeah,
to be.
you know it's going to be 4 minutes, 21 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I always use the example of McDonald's, right? We go to McDonald's not because it's gourmet, but because if you go to McDonald's here or in Indiana or in Europe, you know what you're getting, right? It's that consistency. And I heard that early on, especially with content. Consistency is better than frequency. You know, there's the tendency, especially when we came out of the gates, I was like, let's do a video every day. You can kind of get burnt out. Whereas, hey, we want to do one Tuesday and Thursday at this date, you know, kind of hold yourselves accountable. It's good for us because it builds that muscle, just like in your office, like, hey, they're getting used to doing 2 a day.
Yeah.
But also, it gives people something to, you know, get used to, expect.
Right.
You know, they probably get mad. I remember I was doing the radio show on the talk station for years and years. You know, you're just kind of talking and thinking people are listening. And then I stopped doing it. And then people are like, man, why aren't you doing your show anymore? I'm like, wait, you listened? Like, that's,
someone actually tuned in?
And I got that a lot. So, and that was just every Friday or every Saturday for week after week, you know, and there's a lot to that. What point do you think people should, you know, think back to American Idol, right? When you see like the early episodes where it's like, I've been on the road for 10 years, I've been trying to make it, and then you hear them sing and they're like, oh my God, like, sorry, dude, or dudette, you don't have it, you know? Is there a point in time do you think everybody has a potential audience?
It depends. Honestly, it depends on what kind of content that they're producing. Because sometimes yes and sometimes no. Because, I mean, a lot of the time you can really just continue to monetize on what you're doing and keep growing and growing, whatever social media platform develops after, whatever. But sometimes I don't really know if everybody can do the switch.
Not everybody's interesting either. I mean, not everybody.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
As people, as I ramble on, they're like, yeah, hit that on the head.
But I do, for me though, I do think there's a lid for every pot.
Right.
I think there's an audience for everyone to.
That was a Great Depression.
It just depends on
Lid for every pot? I never heard that.
It just.
That came out of the Great Depression, didn't it?
Probably.
There was a lid shortage.
There was a lid shortage.
But
You
they had a
remember
lot
that?
of pots. I remember that. I was about 3, but I remember it. But
teen.
you know,
Right.
depending on your outreach to that audience.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you connect with those? And that's when we go back to the hashtags, to the mentions, to the tagging people.
Yeah, everything.
So.
But I think that, yeah, it does. So, like, before you took over with your company, or the company, what's it called?
Gator bug.
Gator Butts?
Bugs.
Bug.
Oh,
Bug.
way better than butt.
Gator butts?
Gator booties. We might just came up with something.
Write that down.
But how was did they have a social media presence before you came in and then you just took it to the next level?
So they did, but they...
Sporadic, like most
it was
people?
It was very sporadic, and it wasn't very, like, uniform, and, like, it didn't look like it was very cohesive. And then
You could tell it was somebody that was just doing it because they thought we probably should do
they're
this.
like, yeah, we'll post a video today.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we started posting, like we all kind of got in on it. But I really wasn't doing anything else. So I was like, I'm just making all these videos. So I was like, I'm posting all of them.
How many were you doing a day when you started?
I don't even know. I was just getting so excited. I was like, oh, I could do this. And then I was just like, boom, 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 boom. And they were like, yeah, post whenever.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them just started taking off. And then ever since then, they were like, yeah, we need to get like on this. And I was
We don't
like,
know what
"Yeah."
you're doing, but continue.
keep doing
It
it.
seems to be working.
We're going to create a new name for your thing.
But we really started out with maybe like a couple hundred followers, and now we're almost to like 5.5K or something like that. Like something
Wow.
like insane.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. Like there, you can see from the one video, the first video that like really took off, because I went back and looked at the analytics of it. It was like the bar at the very bottom, and then it's like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that is so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I like doing that, looking at big channels, because I always like, when did they break? You know, it's
Yeah.
rare. It's rarely just you know, every single time of it. It's usually
Right.
they're bouncing at the bottom, then one resonates, and they're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, we had no idea that was going to. Let's keep doing more of that, and then
yeah.
it just, you know. So I guess that you just got to keep at it long enough, you know.
So, would you rather have a video go viral, or just stay kind of on the upward slope?
I don't know. It depends, because okay, so the first one that went viral for us, it was like me showing off a bunch of like clothes, new stuff that we got in, and people like were losing it. They were like, I want this, but we only get like a certain amount of everything. Like we don't do restock. Like we don't restock everything because we want everything to be like new out. And all these people, like we woke up and it was insane. Like there's online orders everywhere, which is like amazing. It was what you want. But then like, I don't know. Like it feels good though to like continue to get like those views, and like so like there's people that are still coming back and watching, or like choosing to watch or finding us.
Do you think a business TikTok can go viral? I mean,
Oh yeah. I've seen, because like, I'm on TikTok every single day for like hours.
kind of your job.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
But there's so many of these like tiny little, I mean, not even just boutiques, but these tiny little places that it's just one thing that they post and everybody's like, oh my god, I love that, I want that. Like there's makeup that like a big TikToker will review, and everybody's like, holy crap, I need that, and they make that whole company sell out of whatever it is.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the company. That's what is it called, like a brand ambassador or something?
No, not even that. It's just kind of like random, or like it doesn't even have to be like an influencer that does it, but it's just like if somebody posts a video and I can't even think of an example, but I know that there's like this one like lip gloss or something that somebody posted, and everybody was like, holy crap, I need that. And then they sold out. But there's so many places that are like that too, even like little like food trucks.
Yeah.
I saw one that was like a mom and pop like food truck in like Charlotte or something. It went crazy.
Well, Dank Burrito in town here, they kind of, I mean, to me, it's one of the most tangible things around here, because they had the food truck and built a huge following on Facebook prior to buying the building and, you know, getting all those expenses.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it all comes down to awareness. You know, you would like to go viral, but you want to go viral for the right things.
Yeah, that's true. Thank God I don't even want to say it, that we haven't gotten any hate comments on anything, but I feel like that's like, yeah.
I love hate comments.
Yeah, I hate.
But that being said,
comments.
leave a comment down below.
Please be nice.
We have a lot of like Chinese comments, like date us. I keep clicking on the links. My computer's going so slow. I don't think they're legit.
Random.
I thought I still had it.
Don't
But
think they're legit? I get excited.
I'm still. I see
Billy's
them.
like, I've been on 4 dates because of it.
I don't understand a word they say.
What?
But yeah, so no hate comments. Do you get what are the comments like? Like, oh girl, we love that, or
Yeah, most of the time it's just like them asking for like a link to whatever it is or like what it's called on the website or like people tagging their friends like, oh my god, we need this.
yeah.
There's one that's going crazy from like a couple of weeks ago. That was like me and the older lady that works at the store with me.
Billy.
I have to make money for the channel somehow.
Oh, Billy.
But that one's like I think the most viral one that we have. It's like over like 300 and probably at like 400,000 views right now.
And what?
And it's like every single day it continues to like get comments. And
Do you look at that and say, "Hey, it's great, it's going viral," but we didn't do anything
yeah.
extraordinary in
No,
that
no,
compared
really.
to this one. Like that's where you're saying there doesn't seem to be much rhyme or reason.
Yeah, it's just so random. That's why when I do the schedule or like I make everybody go on a weekly call with me on Mondays just so we can like regroup for the upcoming week and we plan out like what type of video we're going to post.
Yeah.
So we're not just like stacking up on a bunch of like relatable ones or ones that are like specific to the store and stuff like that because it's like it'll look weird on our profile. I think that's just in my head.
That's, to me, you hit it on the head about just
Thank you.
random videos doing. Well, so like for example, on Wednesdays when I'm doing magic, I have a magic trick where that it posts to the YouTube Shorts, and I have them scan, and then it reveals it's the prediction.
Right.
I did one, and it got 400 views. And I just didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't know.
No, I mean that.
Congratulations.
Is that good? Because we did 300,000.
She's like, I accidentally posted something.
I posted me making pasta and it got 1.7 million
I posted
views.
a video of the phone in my pocket and it went viral. We sold so many pockets.
I'm like, it was a complete black screen.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's that concept we talk about, like digging for gold. You spend more time moving dirt, and then it's like, oh, there was gold there. There doesn't look any different here than it did over there, but I guess you dig enough places.
And that's why I say it's so random. Like, there really is no, like, recipe. It's just getting the content, more specifically the content that you want to be put out there. Like, I feel like as long as it still, like, pertains to what you're doing, because I feel like if you just do something, like, random off the wall, and they're like, what is this?
Because it has to
what am I looking at?
It's got to translate to revenue to the business. You know, you mentioned you got a ton of online orders.
Yeah.
Your boss, you said that when you were explaining what she wanted you to do, it sounded like she gave you like a lot of activity goals. She wasn't giving you like production goals. You know,
Yeah.
she wasn't saying, "Hey, this week we need 250 orders.
Yeah.
Make it happen."
Right.
She's saying, "Hey, we want to post this about this." Is that kind of the angle you have to take?
I think that's what works best for us right now. I mean, because I feel like we've been, like I said, doing pretty well with like our online presence lately. But I feel like that just like it comes off the best online. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because like like I said, we do like kind of like not like weekly goals, but like I'm like we need to like kind of.
When you say goals, what can you? Because I think for businesses listening now that are like, "Hey, we want to do this."
Because we're pretty much we basically do something different every week, or like we're getting something new in every week, or like just something's going on at the store. So we're just trying to keep them up with what we're doing too, if that makes sense. So like
So it's more like awareness, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
let people know what's going on."
yeah.
Well, it goes back to building that culture too. It's not just because you have stuff that comes in the store that's so spontaneous.
Yeah.
You don't keep the same thing. You keep
Right.
that awareness going, and it's kind of exciting to see what comes in.
Well, not even just on TikTok. We go Instagram Live every week on like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, alternating like between the stores or just. It depends on the day, but we'll go Instagram Live and we show off the new arrivals and the amount of people that come in and And they're like, oh my gosh, when are you guys going Instagram Live next? Because everybody goes in, like pops on and watches. But they're like, oh my gosh, when are you going to go live next? And we're like,
They have the sweetest little
Wednesday.
voices.
The sweetest little voices. these
I'm
little
like, hey, when you going live again?
ladies. You go live tomorrow.
I'm gonna clear my
I don't
history.
really wear this clothes, but y'all are pretty.
Yeah.
no, but it's like that too, like that people are looking forward to, like they want to see it. So we continue to
So
do
it sounds like a pretty simple strategy. It's not a strategy of like, hey, let's create the most creative video ever. It's we get new shipments in. We think people might like it, but they're never going to know we get the shipments in unless we make them aware.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty.
About awareness.
It's because I mean, as content creators,
Yeah.
we think like at least I'll overcomplicate everything. Like,
Oh,
Right.
let's
we
look
do,
at this
yeah.
angle and make it like,
Let's get a
We've
drone.
moved these cameras like
Yeah, we gotta get a drone in there.
6,000 times.
yeah,
We need a downward shot from the ceiling.
yeah. But or just taking a piece of content or something happening. It's like let's look at it from this weird angle, and it gets so obscure that
Yeah.
like people are
You're
like,
like,
what the hell are you? Just say it,
Like,
dude.
what am I watching?
Oh man. Do you got anything else on that? I had another
Nothing.
question.
Go ahead with you.
Because you're a lot more active
Yeah.
than I am. I used to be back in the day, but I mean, to me, social media was dating sites. Like I wasn't really in a career.
Still are.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, dating, but it take Facebook. It was so everybody could connect with one another.
I'm like,
keep
ooh,
in touch.
Spring Break to
But
Panama
now-
Beach album. Click.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that's so
But so you see, maybe you're young, so a lot of people build their social media following when it's just them posting. Here's what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and then they get into business and they're thinking, crap, I got to make some money.
yeah.
Do you think people should separate their personal Facebook or Instagram or whatever from the business side of it? I mean, because we've all seen the people that kind of spam out whatever
Right.
pyramid scheme they're doing this week, or hey girl, looking good, you should try this, and they send you a link, and it's like,
block.
yeah. So I mean, how do you do that? Because if you've built that list, I mean,
Right.
arguably, if I start a business account, man, I got to start from zero.
Right. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of depends on how well your stuff would transfer over to what you're doing. Because I feel like if it was just like two completely different realms, people would be like, what is going on here?
If you're
What are
working
they
with
talking about?
retirees
Yeah,
and
they're
like
like-
all your friends are your friend, like your age.
They're like, you only post pictures of yourself in a bikini. But I feel like
Who does that, by the way, just for research purposes?
you're like,
And
what
who
is their
has a
username?
handle of that?
And must I have a login to be able to view?
Like, I just feel like that wouldn't transfer over well. Like, it just wouldn't make sense for the business or for you. But I mean, if your lifestyle and the business like match up and it's like a good fit, like a good whatever, then sure, go for it. I don't know. For us specifically, we all have accounts that are like what is the word I'm looking for? Like branched out from the business, but it's still pertaining to the business. But
What
it's
is
like
that word? I know everything about everything. Okay, come back to me.
okay, but
A little
it's
disappointed right now.
it's our gator bug. It's our gator bug.
Hippopotamus? Damn it, you give her all the easy ones.
But that's where we like post stuff pertaining to the business, but like on our side of things.
Yeah.
So I started out with just a close group of my friends, and then the other girls, and now I have like 200 something followers, which still isn't like a lot, but I know that like everybody
that's a
that's
lot.
on there is active on it. But it's just from people finding it on Instagram and following it. I think
If you
I
have
thought it was my real
if you have a
Instagram.
business account, I would much rather have 200 customers or raving fans of the business than 10,000 just randoms.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a lot of vanity metrics in social media, and I think a lot of people they bust their tail to build up a following, and they're like, likes
They're
don't
like,
pay
"Now
the
what?"
bills.
Right.
We need people to hit buy now
Yeah.
or whatever. So I mean, is there a strategy to that? I guess post stuff about things that people want to buy.
Yeah, no, really, like I whenever I post, I mean, we all kind of do, but whenever I post on my work account, like my personal work account, people will swipe up on my Instagram stories and be like, "Oh my gosh, where is this? How much is this?" And I'm like, "You know what that gate? You know where it is."
Yeah.
And then, or like today, it literally happened today. I posted these shoes that I bought from the Raleigh store, and they came in today. And I posted them on my Instagram story. And Avery swiped up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I need these shoes today." And I was like, "All right, we'll get them for you, girl."
Yeah.
And I literally went into my
You got home and you're
Shopify.
like, "Where are my shoes?" What the hell? And she's like, "No, I needed those shoes."
I need those, the one on your
those
feed.
specifically. No, I like logged into my Shopify and I ordered them for her like right then and there on my account. But like just stuff like that. And then on the flip side, we post on our work, like our actual like work Instagram account. We post at certain times, and the Raleigh store posts at certain times, and we tag all of our products. So if they
Because you want to make it easy. You don't want it to be like
yeah.
solving a Rubik's Cube to figure out how to buy your product.
Yeah, exactly. We even, on our website, we have a whole TikTok section where you can click on that and it'll be
Like
all the
shop.
stuff. Yeah, it'll be all the stuff that you've seen on the TikToks.
So I want to go back to what you were saying about the 200 loyal customers compared to 10,000. See, I'm a little different because I would rather have that 10,000 because out of those 10,000 you could potentially make customers, loyal customers. But if I just focus on the 200, then I'm not being able to.
You just
grow
want a
them.
plaque, dude.
Guys, just get Billy to 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
Can we please? Please.
All he wants for
That's
his
all I want.
birthday.
My birthday.
I only have 200 followers, but they're customers, okay? I'm cool. If you don't buy,
And we
you
have-
get kicked off the list.
We don't have 200, man. We have 260.
Yeah.
260.
So what we're, yeah, no,
We
I
did
see what you're
10,000
saying.
views though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but like you were talking about, they're engaged or whatever. Because in the quote unquote real world, you don't need to sell 10,000 of those blouses or whatever girls read
don't even
or
know.
wear. The jumpers.
Houses, jumpers.
Well, yeah, isn't that stuff?
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, those are definitely things.
That's what
from
they
the
say.
80s.
That's what you sell on LinkedIn. But you know what I mean? Because you don't even have those. You would rather, if I knew, hey, there's
Yeah.
200 people, they eat up everything we have.
And
Because they're going to be checking your stuff, you know.
yeah, and also I feel like when you don't have a lot of products, like I said, like we carry a very like small amount of certain things. It makes people
Scarcity, yeah.
It makes people want to get it even more because they're like, oh, not everybody's going to have this, or whatever, and it makes them want it more than.
And they're not
something
worried
that-
about, they're going to buy it and see 3 girls in their spin class wearing the same thing. In their blouses.
Yeah, because it makes it feel like it's more
And the
like
jumpers.
not secretive, but in a way
Exclusive.
It is exclusive. Like it's like a very like niche.
Well, shoe stores are big like that. Remember that, like, hey, can I get that in a size 12 and a half? And they're like, let me go back and check. Look, we have one left. The guy's coming back in 30 minutes to buy them. You know, they're building that sense of urgency. And now
Right.
you're like, okay, I got to buy
I have
it. It's,
to.
it's now or never. What would your advice be to Billy and I? We asked Kevin the same thing. He mentioned do some shorter clip style videos.
Yeah.
But what would your be advice from like a social media? If we said, Taylor, we want to hire you to do exactly what you're doing for us, would you be like, there's zero way I can make this interesting? Or
I'm like, ooh.
what would the first thing you would do for us be?
Get new co-host.
Yeah, bring Mr. Beeson. No, I've told you that you need to do the snippets as well. I feel like that's not that it's easier to watch, but just kind of like almost like a highlight reel of the whole podcast.
It's less of a commitment. No, like, hey, this looks interesting. Hour and 15. No one's gonna sit and like
Which we
Try and
you've been
figure this
doing.
out. Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
doing. Matt's been putting together like 1 minute shorts.
Yeah, just like quick little videos. Like I said, like a little like highlight reel.
let's do this. Let's run through the different platforms and you tell us how you would do it. So TikTok, how would you leverage TikTok with the show?
Yeah, just like little clips from the show.
Okay.
Instagram?
Instagram would probably be, honestly, just try to be more active on your Instagram story.
And reels and stuff, yeah, that's true.
And you could still pull over the videos and put them on the reels too, because that'll pop up on the.
What do you think? When I think of TikTok, I mean, there is, but it's kind of like goofy content. I get a lot of videos people sent, just like funny stuff, almost like Vine 2.0. What do you? Kevin mentioned maybe like he said the little blooper reels he would stick on the end, kind of humanizing. Do you think that would?
Because there's this one guy that keeps popping up on my For You. There's two.
You say Mr. Beast.
No,
Yes.
there's these two like separate accounts, and they're these guys that they both have a podcast, and they post just like these like funny little snippets, and it's just like it'll like zoom in on his face or like just like
quick cut edits.
Yes, and they are so funny. Like people, that's all his account is, and people love it.
Do you think that translates to people wanting to go? I mean, I guess it would be like if you loved the 10-second one, you're gonna love the hour 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
I thought about breaking. We do the minute shorts, and then I also want to do 8 minutes or 5 to 8 minutes.
yeah.
Clips.
And then obviously have the big show that they can watch.
Have you guys ever considered moving to Spotify or Apple Music?
The audio, yeah. I think
audio's in the
that's
work.
something we need to do for sure.
Yeah,
That just popped in my head.
because I do want to. We need to get into that realm. It's a building process.
Yeah.
And we have a bank full of. I mean, we have so much material right now that we could just launch it tomorrow and just
Yeah.
pretty much put a podcast up every day.
You guys
What-
could go on vacation.
What about Pinterest?
Pinterest? I don't know.
Come on, you're our expert.
I feel like you guys could probably have some. I don't know. It would have to. Pinterest is tricky because it's usually like pictures or like posts that link back to
Whatever the main hub is, YouTube or
So really, if you guys did do a Pinterest, you could have one of your like little like pictures of what is that called when thumbnail. You could have like your thumbnail up there with like the key points of the video, like you know what I mean, the key points,
So
and then
just pin that. That's a good idea.
yeah.
Like that.
of like what the podcast was about.
Okay,
And then a link to the. Huh.
that's interesting. Sounds like a lot of work.
That's why she makes the big.
We'll be back with our hour-and-a-half video. It took 0. I'm exhausted. I have no voice.
All right, Taylor.
Yep.
Twitch. Have you dealt with Twitch much?
Only
It's like video games, right?
only one time because my friend started doing Twitch and she was like, "Yeah, come watch me." And I was like, "I don't know how to work it." That was pretty much it.
That doesn't sound very expert.
It is-
Yeah. Nah, that's
Do you-
something I'm not.
I don't really see anyone who's a social media expert. They're like a Facebook expert or a YouTube expert or a LinkedIn expert or whatever. Do you think it's wise to try? I mean, 'cause you can get spread pretty thin, trying to, all right, now we got to cut this content up to make it perfect for Pinterest and LinkedIn or whatever.
I feel like there's whatever you feel like your audience is using, then definitely go all over that. Like I feel like y'all's would definitely be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and you could dabble into Pinterest, like you guys talked about. But I feel like that would be like your big four, and I really think going past that would be like spreading too thin.
I mean, honestly, though, we do talk a lot of business stuff, which I know people hate on LinkedIn, but I've gotten good traction on LinkedIn posts or whatever.
All right, Mr. LinkedIn.
I think someone described it before, like each social media is like a different type of party that you're at, like Instagram is this kind of party and this is this party, and it's just, being relevant in each one, not sticking out, like, because it's going to be like, this isn't like the others, What are your plans? How are you going to continue to grow your brand? Your brand, Gator Butts.
Gator booties.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been kind of just like going hard on trying to get some like new ideas, because like as much as I like to do videos that are like relatable and like stuff that is going viral, I want to start trying to do stuff that not everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And feel that out a little bit and see how that goes. Just like a little bit more creative, like less like.
That's what I was going to ask, because you're a lot more structured now than when you first started.
And
Do
I
you
feel
think
like
that structure it can almost feel like it kills the creativity a little bit?
Yeah, there's some days where we're like, this is not, like, I just don't feel like doing this today, or like it's just not working out today, so we're like, all right, like let's just come back to it tomorrow, or that's why I like to have my like weekly calls so we can brainstorm, see like if somebody has an idea, see how to elevate it and make it more something that they would like to do.
Yeah.
Rather than like forcing them to make
two
the
a
video.
day, that's 40. No, wait. That's what?
60,
2 a day,
60
10. Yeah. That's a lot and if you're trying to be creative each time, it's like
There's only so much.
after a while.
Well, you got to keep the fun
Right.
in it as well.
Right. So
with what you're doing now, do you think would like to stay where you are, or is this a launching pad for you to learn to eventually branch off?
I don't know.
I know that eventually.
Because other brands are going to start coming and like they're going to try and hire you away, because it's like, hey, there's this, like, they're going to, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it because I really just got thrown in. I didn't have any idea of what to do. I was like, I'm just making TikToks. I have no idea what I'm doing. But it's really just kind of like a learning opportunity for me right now to try and figure everything out and try to be good at it. But
kind of not lose yourself in the process of
Yeah.
what made you viralable in the
what,
first
like,
place.
made me want to do it in the first place. But they gave me the option to do it or not do it, and I was like, I would like to
Give it a stab.
do it. And I even said, I was like, we can try it out for a week, and if it's not a good fit, then that is completely okay, and we can figure out like what spot I would be more suitable for. But
Were you hired on originally just as a sales associate type deal?
yeah. Which I still am, but I'm just taking on more responsibility now.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with because I like to stay
Because I
busy.
think you are just intriguing yourself. Like, I'm not, but your Instagram post, or like especially your TikToks and your snaps.
You smell pretty.
I like your smile.
Thank you.
But you're intriguing. But I feel like what Matt said with structuring, it can almost take that away.
Yeah. And I haven't noticed anything really different from it. Like I said, like if there is some days, because there is where we're just drained and like we don't feel like doing it. I'm
No
like,
inspiration.
yeah. Well, and then that's why I like to tell the girls, I'm like, if you're getting ideas, like just crank them out.
That's what I was going to say. Just you're scheduling 2 a day, but there's nothing that could keep you from, hey, you could record 10 TikToks
Oh, yeah.
in a
Just
couple
keep- yeah,
hours
and just
and
keep
then
them in the draft.
just schedule it.
Yeah. Because, there's sometimes, because we make them during store hours, so it's like we don't have all the time in the world to make them. Usually it is fast because people are coming in and out, and you're not like, you're dancing, you're like, hey, welcome in. They're like, what is going on here? They're like, what is going on?
And I guess because you have you separated you from your brand, or the store's brand, you have that freedom to still do Taylor.
And I do.
So, and she does.
And I do.
Oh, she do.
Oh, she do.
Nice. All
All right. You
right.
got anything else?
Nope. I'm
Taylor?
over it.
No, I don't think so.
You good?
if you guys need help, just let me know.
Yeah, how can they follow you on Instagram? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm private on Instagram, but my username is Taylor SB, Taylar SB. Taylor Bay on Facebook, pretty much Taylor Bay on everything.
Taylor, Taylar, right?
Taylar. Bay, Bay.
B-A-Y.
Sounds like a communist who spells their name like that.
Like I had a
Social
choice.
media.
Jeez.
Social media experts. Well, guys, thank you so much for checking out the channel and watching this episode. Taylor, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell.
Smash the like button.
Guys, leave us a comment down below. We'll see you on the next video.
Peace.